The clip was only 12 seconds long. 12 ordinary seconds, filmed from the side of a busy set, grainy and imperfect. The kind of footage that usually disappears into the endless scroll of behind-the-scenes compilations. And yet, this one didn't disappear. It stopped people mid-scroll. It made fans rewatch, rewind, slow it down. It made comment sections feel oddly quiet at first, before filling with messages that all said the same thing in different ways. I don't know why, but this feels different. The clip showed Dylan Wang and Shen Yue standing close together between takes. No dramatic music. No dialogue. No obvious moment meant for the audience. Just waiting. Just existing in the same space while the crew adjusted lights and cameras around them. At first glance, nothing was wrong. At second glance, nothing was obvious. But the third time you watched it, something unsettled you. Dylan stood slightly turned toward Shen Yue, hands relaxed at his sides. Shen Yue was looking down at her phone, nodding absently at something someone off-camera said. The space between them was small. Too small for strangers. Too natural for performance. Then came the moment everyone talked about. Shen Yue shifted her weight, leaning just slightly toward Dylan, as if the movement happened before she thought about it. Dylan didn't move away. Instead, he adjusted his stance so she fit more comfortably beside him. His hand lifted. Not fully, not dramatically, hovering for half a second near her elbow before dropping back down. That was it. No touch. No words. And yet, the internet reacted like something fragile had cracked. "This is making me uncomfortable," one fan wrote, not angrily but thoughtfully. "Not in a bad way." Another added, "In a real way." The discomfort didn't come from impropriety. It came from recognition. Because what people were seeing wasn't acting. It wasn't choreography. It wasn't the polished closeness of a scripted romance. It was a kind of unconscious adjustment people make around someone they're used to being close to, someone their body already understands. Humor tried to soften it at first. Memes popped up almost immediately. Someone joked, "That hand had free will." Another said, "My parents stand farther apart than this." Laughter did its job, briefly easing the tension, but the unease lingered. Fans began asking questions that weren't accusatory, just curious. Why did Dylan angle his body like that? Why did Shen Yue not even look surprised by his movement? Why did it feel like they forgot the cameras existed? Media scholars would call this a liminal moment, a space between performance and reality where the audience accidentally sees something unfiltered. Fans didn't need the term. They felt it instinctively. The clip spread fast, faster than either of them could react. Slowed versions appeared, zoomed-in versions, versions with circles, arrows, timestamps. Look at his hand. Look at her shoulders. Watch his expression change when she leans in. Others push back. "You're overthinking." They're friends. This is normal on set. All true, and yet, education often hides in moments like this. On film sets, actors develop physical familiarity. They rehearse proximity. They learn each other's rhythms. But what unsettled fans wasn't closeness. It was comfort without awareness. The kind that happens when you're no longer monitoring yourself. Body language experts chimed in online, not naming names, just explaining concepts. Mirroring, subconscious orientation, protective spacing. When two people repeatedly adjust themselves to accommodate each other, it suggests emotional familiarity, not just professional cooperation. Fans didn't panic. They didn't accuse. They reflected. One comment stood out. "It makes me uncomfortable because it feels private." That was the heart of it. Fans are used to consuming curated intimacy. Smiles timed for cameras. Playful banter delivered on cue. But this clip felt like it slipped through the cracks. Like a moment meant for no one else. The discomfort wasn't scandal. It was boundaries. Some fans stepped back, choosing not to share it further. Others share it carefully, adding captions like, "Watch respectfully," or "This feels like something we weren't meant to analyze." Humor returned again, softer this time. Someone wrote, "This clip made me realize I've been single too long." Another joked, "I blinked and suddenly I'm emotionally invested in two people I don't know." Meanwhile, neither Dylan Wang nor Shen Yue addressed it. No denial, no clarification, no playful comment to diffuse tension. Silence, too, communicates. In fan fiction spaces, the clip took on a life of its own. Writers imagined quiet moments between takes, shared jokes no one else heard, the exhaustion of long days, the relief of familiar presence. Not drama, not passion, just companionship. And that, oddly, was what made some fans uncomfortable, because it challenged the distance fandom relies on. Parasocial relationships are built on safety, on knowing the line between audience and subject. This clip blurred that line, not by inviting fans closer, but by revealing something that felt none of their business. Educationally, it became a lesson in modern celebrity culture. Audiences want authenticity, but only the kind that's packaged. When authenticity appears accidentally, it can feel intrusive to witness. That's why reactions were mixed. Some said, "This proves they're close." Others said, "This proves nothing." Many said, "I feel like I shouldn't be watching this." As days passed, the discourse softened. The clip became less shocking and more reflective. Fans discussed respect, privacy, the difference between imagination and intrusion. One thoughtful comment summed it up. If this makes us uncomfortable, maybe it means we've stumbled into something real, and real isn't always ours to consume. Eventually, the clip faded from trending pages, not because it was forgotten, but because it was absorbed, filed away as one of those moments fans remember quietly. Dylan Wang and Shen Yue continued working, appearing, smiling, being exactly as public as they had always been. But something shifted. Fans watched with gentler eyes. Less demand, more appreciation. Humor returned fully, but with care. The fandom matured a little that week. Because sometimes a behind-the-scenes clip doesn't shock because it's dramatic. It shocks because it's human. And humans, when seen without filters, can make us uncomfortable, not because they're doing something wrong, but because they remind us that not everything is meant for us. The clip wasn't inappropriate. It wasn't scandalous. It wasn't even clear. It was simply a moment that slipped through. And once seen, it asked a quiet question of everyone watching. How close is too close for them and for us? The answer, like the clip itself, was never meant to be loud. It was meant to be felt, and then gently let go.